Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly, where we answer all your latest news in the world of tech and mobile. And usually we answer your questions live. However, this week is not live. I did tell you guys that it wouldn't be live this week, but I did want to leave you guys an episode of Mobile Weekly at 8 p.m. at its regularly scheduled time. Next week we'll go back to answering your questions live, so make sure to subscribe so you can get your questions answered. Now let's get on with the news. Now the first big news this week is a Note 10e. Yeah, it looks like it is a possibility right now that we are going to get a Samsung Galaxy Note 10e besides the regular Galaxy Note. Funny how this time last year we were hearing that the Note series was going to be canceled, and now we might get two of them. This is of course because the regular S10e did so well for Samsung that Samsung is actually thinking about doing a more affordable version of the Note as well, which is a bit weird because the Note is the premium line. I mean, typically this starts at $1,000 and goes up from there. And you can imagine that although you could do maybe $899 or $799 version, which I'm not saying wouldn't sell well, I think $849 I think would pretty much be a good way to go about it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the idea of getting a Note 10e? Quite frankly, I really like the S10e, and if it wasn't for the smaller screen size, I probably would have even liked it in some ways better than the regular S10, just simply because of the fact that the fingerprint scanner is obviously better on that one, and yeah, it works really well. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited about getting a Note 10e in this year's lineup? Not only that, but we also have another confirmation of the S10 5G variant. And the 5G variant will be going for pre-orders on April 18th, and it looks like it will be coming out May 16th as of right now. Now, this also is going to be in the middle of the next upcoming launch, which is the Galaxy Fold. The Galaxy Fold pre-orders should start later this week, it looks like, from what we've been hearing, but then the phone will be released on April 26th. Now, we haven't heard anything about that getting pushed back or anything. It's still looking like April 26th is the launch date for it, which would be a little bit after this pre-orders wise, but it will release before the 5G variant. Again, I don't believe that most people should get the 5G variant. I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you want to spend more money in terms of getting high-end stuff, I think the Fold offers more. But if you don't want to get necessarily the latest and greatest, the non-5G variant is still really good, and I think the regular S10 Plus would be good for everyone else. I still think it's great. I have had no issues with my S10 Plus except for the fingerprint scanner, but overall, I will say that I have enjoyed the phone. I love the wide angle. I love a lot of the camera features and just the overall speed and performance of the phone. For me, the 5G variant isn't necessary, and I will say that 5G is definitely not necessary in 2019. 2020, maybe it might be a bit more, but you will not get 5G reception. You could see a lot of people have been testing out Verizon's 5G specifically recently, and it was spotty at best in Chicago, which was one of its launch cities, and yeah, didn't do well. All right. Now, we also have confirmation by Google from the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 3a. So Pixel 4 is first time mentioned, just letting you know that there will be Pixel 4 devices and how they will release with the next Android Q versions. So Google themselves mentioned it on the Pixel 4, and then they also mentioned it on the Pixel 3a that yes, it will be coming out, and these are the specs we are looking at. So we don't have the processor down yet, but we do have a 1080p display. We do have 3 gigs of RAM, probably 4. It's right under, so I would say it's probably going to be 4, hopefully. And yeah, overall, I'm just curious to see how big will it be, what size are we going to go with. There are lots of rumors based on that, and what the price point will be is definitely a big thing. I think this is Google returning to the Nexus line, to be quite honest, because they need a mid-ranger to really compete with the rest of the market, and the Pixel lineup has been higher priced but not really kind of showing anything but a camera. If Google would release a Pixel camera, and literally it doesn't have a phone, I think it would actually sell better, because literally the reason I feel you get the Pixel is because of the camera. You don't get it for the speakers, you don't get it for the screen, you don't get it for the overall UI experience. I mean, if you like stock Android, OnePlus does a better job of stock Android in my opinion, which is slightly tweaked in much better ways. So overall, I don't think that it's really the best experience on the Pixel. I say that as my Pixel 3 has been my daily driver, my second daily driver now for a while now. I switched to that a couple weeks ago again, and it's just not as good as the Samsung or other experiences in my opinion. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Would you be interested in a Pixel 3a, especially if they put the same camera in there? That alone would make it a really amazing device. But would they put that kind of camera quality in a device that is that much lower? Let me know what you guys think. I think that overall, if they put that similar kind of camera in it, then we're going to get something really amazing for a great price that I would consider something like that for my daughter, who I want to get a mid-range device that can wirelessly charge. And if that can wirelessly charge and has a great camera, I don't care if it has a slower processor. I don't care if it has less RAM than almost every other smartphone. It really would stand out for those reasons alone. All right. Huawei is taking a really interesting step here. So Snapchat announced a bunch of new features to their app, which I was like, okay, it still sucks on Android. No improvements to Android. Good. I don't care about Snapchat then. I still don't care. But Huawei is apparently going to work with Snapchat in giving you the best Snapchat experience on Android. Now that's really important because of the fact that, well, Snapchat sucks on Android. It really does. For those of you who don't know, the biggest thing about Snapchat is it actually does not use your camera. It screen records your screen for the video. Why? Like, what would make them think that? Basically, apparently it's a lot easier to do than getting every single camera to work perfectly on Android. But it's like Snapchat, you've had years to do this, but this is a big step in order to hopefully get a much better quality recording for Snapchat on Android, and hopefully then they'll do that with other brands as well. I think this is a big step forward. Now, Snapchat needs to get it together before they go out of business, because honestly, I do see Snapchat going out of business if they continue to ignore Android. You cannot dominate the global market with iOS when iOS has less than 25% of the global market in terms of operating systems on mobile. It's great in the US, and that's where Snapchat got all its money, is really in the US, but it's nowhere near global because they've only stuck to iOS optimization. This is a good step in the right direction, and hopefully it does do better because they need it. All right, now another big topic this week, and I think this kind of would frustrate people because of the technology on the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner really not working up to par as what we expect from a fingerprint scanner, and this time it has been tricked. Now, I want to really stress out that yes, it's been tricked, but this is not a common thing that most people will do. First of all, how many millions of people have 3D printers? Not that many. 3D printers are still not a widespread thing that you see in every household. Yes, people do have them, but more people have them, necessarily don't know how to use them, and yeah, they're not going to be on this level. So, a person that obviously knows what they're doing was able to 3D print a fingerprint and then put it on glass and then press down on it hard so that it could unlock with the fingerprint. That did work. It did work because you actually got the actual fingerprint, you lifted it and did a 3D print of that fingerprint in order to make it work. So keep in mind all of these steps that you would need to do to trick it, and yes, it's possible. Is it probable? Is it most likely that a person would go through that much and know that much about technology to do that? No. I mean, I think there always will be some way to fool any of them. Any security system, there will always have a way to fool it. But in all honesty, this was just something that I had to bring to your guys' attention because it is something that is quite interesting. All right, and the last bit of news this week is a very interesting one in the streaming game. Now, I am really kind of curious to see how the streaming services will be done by the end of the year. Because all in all, we have Netflix. Netflix is a dominant competitor right now and has really no competition. There's Hulu, there's HBO, there's other ones, but Netflix is the dominant force in streaming. And they're afraid right now. They are afraid they are about to get knocked out. One, they just upped their prices to $15.99, which I'm very not happy about. I do get free Netflix as of right now until the end of the year from a Samsung promotion that they had a while back. So I'm still not paying for my Netflix yet, but you better believe I'm not gonna be paying that kind of price of $15.99 because yes, I have 4K displays and I want to watch 4K on my Netflix, but I'm not gonna be paying that kind of price for it. So I will downgrade my Netflix or get rid of it for Disney Plus, but also Apple's another competitor in this. So something that just happened was that Netflix stopped supporting Apple AirPlay. And their reasoning for this was that they felt that, oh, well, we can't distinguish which device is using AirPlay anymore because AirPlay is now on more devices. So we just can't accept that because we can't verify which device it is. So we will not support AirPlay anymore. And you can still use it obviously on Apple TV or other devices that do have Netflix app. Yeah, I don't have an issue with this on Android. I can immediately Chromecast. They don't know what device I'm using really, do they? So this is BS because you can do the same thing with Chromecast. I can mirror my Samsung phone to my Samsung TV with Netflix on it. So this is an attack on Apple for them coming to the streaming market. Plain and simple. There is nothing else to be said about this. This is that they came to the streaming market and Netflix is going to be like, okay, well, we won't support that then. So yeah, you can still obviously use it on Apple TV. You can still use it on pretty much every smart TV has the Netflix app. So I don't think it's too big of a loss, at least in my opinion. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Did you ever use AirPlay specifically in order to watch Netflix? I don't see that as a big loss to me, but if you were in the Apple ecosystem, it might have got a little bit harder now. Overall, I do see this as an attack, not to mention that I was actually watching Star Wars Clone Wars, the series, with my daughter recently on Netflix, and we were going through the shows, and I noticed something happened today. Literally today, because we watched it fine yesterday. As of today, we can't watch Clone Wars anymore. It is gone from Netflix, and you can best believe that is because of the Disney Plus streaming service app, and so that's gone. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting year, and honestly, I have told you guys many times, my bet easily on the betting horse, and if you have a lot of money that you can spend on stocks right now, please, you should get Disney stock, because Disney Plus will dominate the market by the end of this year. You just cannot compete with Marvel, Star Wars. You have all of Fox's content, Pixar, Disney. It's so much content that they are going to have. And quite frankly, all they have to do is announce a $10 price point. And what is Netflix going to do? Netflix has lots of original content that has become really great and is really getting out there. And I don't think Disney will be able to compete with the stand-up that Netflix has really come out with. But you better believe, as me, a geek, and that has a kid, I don't see why I wouldn't get Disney Plus, and why, if I have to choose between the two, I'm going to go with Disney Plus. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you think will be the dominant streaming service by the end of 2019? Keep in mind, Disney Plus won't come out till the end of 2019 as well, so it might take a little bit longer. But I would definitely say by the end of 2020, you are going to see Disney Plus out-subscribe Netflix. That's my prediction. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section down below. Thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.